Interview with Ringo Starr, London, July 1970.
We're all still good pals, and we're all good players, and we like to play together.
Yeah. You're all friends again now, which is lovely.
We've always rarely been friends. I mean, we've had our little niggles.
Yes.
But, I mean, we've always talked to each other, you know.
Yes.
So it hasn't been as...
Even through the Cold War.
Even through... well, you know, it's never been as tough as the press sort of made out, you know.
Yes.
We did at least acknowledge each other all the time.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
we weren't
spoke
like,
to each other on the telephone.
yes,
if there was a
and
situation.
saw each other.
Yes.
I mean, I saw everyone.
Yes.
Basically, because I'm in England, I see George and Paul.
Yes.
And in America, I saw John. I mean, John and Paul haven't seen each other because of the 3,000 miles different, mainly, you know,
Yes.
in the travelling. But that was all. I'm sure if John had still been here, they'd have met each other. We'd have all met each other, you know.
Yes. You know, I've just got this feeling that if anyone is likely to get the Beatles to reform again, it's going to be you. Because
Well,
you seem to
they say that. I don't know why.
well,
I mean, you know,
it must
maybe
be
it's because I'm so
something to do
nice.
with, it might have something to do with that, you know. Don't you think that
No,
could happen?
no, it's down to the four of us. Not any one of us can do it. I mean, Paul used to be the one to get everything together.
Yes,
you know,
he
he'd
did.
phone us up. John and I'd be sitting in the garden. He'd phone up saying, well, should we do an album? We'd say, oh, yeah, okay, because what are we doing sitting in the garden? We'll go and do an album. You know, he used to be the one to get things moving, really.
Yes. Would you like to do it again?
Well, I wouldn't like to go out on the road and everything again. I think
No.
we could. The thing we could do was record together
Yeah.
again. That's about it. I wouldn't fancy
But
going
not
on
a
the road with
concert.
anyone. No.
Not a stage concert again.
No, we'd have to get all that makeup on and high heel sneakers. I'm not shaving my beard off for anyone. Maybe I'll just have it dyed gold.
You just grow into being a myth.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
It's a lovely idea of you all being together again.
it's like what you know. I don't know when those old vaudeville stars coming back. They never make it. I mean, I'm not saying we can't make it. It's shitty. See, you can't answer these questions in reality.
Well, there's no question of not making it. I mean,
No.
you have a ready-made audience, wouldn't
Yeah.
you? I mean, the thing about it is, I mean, you've all got your own.
Yes, but we stopped
separate
touring
directions now,
even,
haven't you?
you know, after a couple of years because of what the albums. We could never reproduce that on stage.
Yes.
You know, so if we got together, we still wouldn't be able to reproduce it, I don't think, unless we did a very four-man album, you know, with not too much effects.
Yes. Yes. Do you think it's heading that way? You've really
Which,
answered.
I
it.
did-
Well,
I didn't
mean,
really-
about you reforming
Yeah,
again. You've really
there's no answer to that.
no answer to that. It's in the lap of the gods.
Well, we're the gods.
Right.
Another good quote.
Are you
Oh,
tired of people asking you whether the Beatles will get together again?
Not tired.
Because they're always asking me. You see.
Well, I know. Well, imagine if they're always asking you, imagine how many people ask me.
Yes.
And that's all anyone ever says, you know. And
When-
no one of us can answer that.
No.
That's the point.
No.
And the four of us hadn't sat round to talk about it seriously, about recording again, because of, you know, we did have some musical differences and we'd have to overcome them again.
Mm.
Also, you see,
What were
even
your
when we
musical
first,
differences?
when we, well, I mean, listen to all our albums.
Yes.
I mean, just listen to them and you can see where we're all going, you know.
Mm.
And you'd have to melt all that again, you know.
Mm.
So that's the differences.
Mm. Do you think you'll be happy to go on in show business?
Yes,
as long
I'm
as-
Mr. Show Business, you know. Yeah, I'm the group, you know. I quite enjoy all that entertaining. You know.
Yes.
It's just strange for me when I'm up front, you know, after all those years at the back.
Yes.
And then suddenly
quite.
I'm up there dancing and singing. And, you know, I have to get used to that a bit more.
Have you had dancing lessons, Ringo?
No, I had one when I was about 8, tap dancing lesson, but a friend and I went to the it was above a co-op shop in Liverpool.
Yeah.
But there was too many girls there for us, and we left. I've been
You
trying to
felt
get
shy?
back ever since. Yeah, we're just these, you know, when you're 8, you know, you're going through that scene about, no, they're only girls, you know, they're not really human. When you get to 9, then you start to realise what it's all about.
Looking back, what do you look upon as the most momentous moment in the career of the Beatles for you?
Well, I think the first one's always the sharpest, and that was Love Me Do, you know, getting right up to 47.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that was like the most incredible scene, that we had a record out, you know, that we had a bit of plastic with us on, for me.
Mm.
Then you got like the Palladium was another whole different scene, and then you got like America was another scene. You know, we had a lot of scenes, but the first one is the most powerful, and that was Love Me Do for me. I mean, that was more powerful than I think Please Please Me making #1.
Yes.
Just the idea of being on a bit of plastic, you know, was really incredible after all those years of playing.
When you look back on it, how do you react about that period, you know, which was a most amazing period, really, wasn't it?
It was the worst time and the best time in my life.
It was.
I mean, the best time because we played a lot of good music and we had a lot of good times, and the worst time because it's not, touring is never a pleasure. You know, playing was always the pleasure, but what goes with it, you know, and especially for a group who was as big as us, where it was like 24 hours a day with no break, with press and people fighting to get into your room, you know,
Yes.
climbing 25 stories of drain pipes, knocking on your window. I mean, it never stopped, and that wasn't the good part of it.
No.
But the shows, I mean, no one ever complained about them. It was just that everything that went around us would have, if we'd have carried on, I personally would have gone insane.
You would have done.
You know, and I also think if you do too much touring, and in those days we only played 12 numbers, we got really stale as musicians. And you can tell when you get stale, you know, you don't feel good. So then the shows tended to be off, but no one cared. No one knew if it was good or bad. You know, we'd do the same show in two towns. One, we'd come off feeling good, and one would come off feeling bad, but we'd get the same reaction to both shows. No one would know the difference, bar us.
That is slightly inadequate feeling, isn't it? When
Well, you
feel
feel like, what am I doing? You know, I'm playing the biggest load of shit in the world, and people are standing and cheering.
Yes.
You know, which
Yeah.
isn't good for you.
Not very fulfilling, is
No,
it?
in no way.
No.
You know.